What do you think of a plane that can fly and move on the water like a ship, but many times faster? How does it work? What is its speed and how far can it go? We'll answer all these questions and many more in today's video. Let's get started. Imagine a hybrid vehicle combining the maneuverability and speed of an airplane with the versatility of a ship. It may sound like a fantasy, but this concept isn't far-fetched. The idea is real. The name of this magical aircraft is a chronoplan, a fascinating invention from the Soviet era that is worth discussing. In fact, chronoplan isn't just one aircraft. It's a general term for several projects created in the late 1930s and later mainly in the 1960s. All these aircraft operate near the surface of the ground or water using a phenomenon known as ground effect. This is when a vehicle moving close to a surface can generate lift because of the pressure difference between the bottom of the vehicle and the air above it. In simple terms, the chronoplan hovers just above the water surface, reducing friction and enabling it to move quickly without wasting much energy. This makes them very similar to hovercraft, but the two are not the same. Hovercraft use a rotating fan to suck air underneath them, while chronoplans simply move along the surface. The first mention of this effect dates back to 1926, when German inventor Ludwig Ronto conducted a study on boats that could ride on a cushion of air. The U.S. Navy became interested in this phenomenon during World War II, realizing that aircraft carriers could potentially move on water at high speeds. After the war ended, the U.S. gave up on the project, but the Soviet Union picked it up. By the 1960s, the Soviets were already aware of the possibility of creating aircraft that could operate on water thanks to the research of scientist Alexander Lizik. They realized that such a vehicle would be useful for military operations in the Caspian Sea. That's why the chronoplan was born. The word chrono means screen in Russian. The Soviets envisioned this machine as a new type of transportation. The first prototype, called the Raketa, was built in 1966. It was a triangular-shaped aircraft with a wingspan of 27 meters and a length of 43 meters. It could move on both land and water at speeds up to 500 kilometers per hour. However, this model was unstable and prone to sudden changes in direction, making it unsuitable for further testing. So the engineers returned to the drawing board. In the end, the Soviets came up with the idea of making a vehicle that would resemble a boat more closely. This led to the creation of the chronoplan, also known as the Caspian Sea Monster. This model was a massive aircraft with a length of almost 100 meters and a wingspan of 37 meters. It weighed 100 tons and could carry up to 550 tons of cargo at speeds up to 550 kilometers per hour. The KM was powered by 8 engines, each with 22,000 horsepower. The aircraft's designers believed that the KM would revolutionize transportation and military logistics. They suggested using the aircraft to transport oil, gas, timber, and even missiles. The KM could reportedly fly through storm waves up to 2 meters high without losing stability. It could also climb to an altitude of 10 meters in just 20 seconds. The Soviets claimed that the KM was able to reduce transportation time across the Caspian Sea from 15 days to just 1 day. They even considered using the KM to deliver goods to Europe via the Volga River. The Soviets were so proud of the KM that they organized a public demonstration in 1972 with the participation of foreign journalists. The KM flew over the Caspian Sea, carrying a load of 500 tons. Everyone who witnessed this event was impressed. But what happened next? Why haven't we heard of the Caspian Sea Monster in recent decades? As impressive as the KM was, there were problems that eventually led to its downfall. The first issue was safety. As mentioned earlier, one of the main advantages of the chronoplan is its ability to travel close to the water surface. But this also meant that the vehicle was vulnerable to external factors. If the water surface was rough, it could affect the aircraft's stability, and the slightest malfunction could lead to a dangerous situation. The second problem was the aircraft's complexity. As a unique vehicle, the KM required a lot of maintenance and repairs, which demanded constant human intervention and specialized equipment. This not only increased operating costs, but also reduced the aircraft's reliability. The third issue was the lack of infrastructure. To operate the KM effectively, special docks and hangars were needed. However, such infrastructure did not exist anywhere in the Soviet Union. In fact, the Soviets never built any more chronoplans after the KM. The Lun was the only other echinoplane to ever come close to being as large and significant as the KM. Developed in the 1980s, the Lun was 73 meters long, 44 meters wide, and could reach speeds of up to 500 kilometers per hour. It also had the capability to perform vertical takeoff and landing. It seems that the Lun was intended to replace the KM, but that didn't happen. One of the reasons for the failure of the Lun and other subsequent models was the inability to solve the problems that had already arisen with the KM. Perhaps the creators of the Lun hoped that the new engine and improved design would make the vehicle more stable and reliable. However, it didn't work out that way. In 1987, the Lun was involved in an accident during a test flight. The details of the incident are unknown, but it's believed that the aircraft lost stability and crashed into the water. Fortunately, both pilots managed to eject in time. This accident marked the end of active research into echinoplanes. Today, there are only 2 of these unique vehicles left. Both the KM and the Lun are currently in a state of disrepair. The Caspian Sea Monster is located at a shipyard in Kazakhstan, while the Lun is in Russia at the Central Marine and River Station in St. Petersburg. Nobody knows exactly what the future holds for these giants. Maybe someone will take up the task of restoring them and putting them back into operation. Or maybe they'll remain here forever as relics of the past. If you think the story of the Caspian Sea Monster is interesting, then check out our video on Project 945, a 24-ton warship with rocket propulsion that can travel on land, air, and water. This futuristic craft is truly amazing. Also, if you want to know more about Soviet inventions, pay attention to this video. Despite all their shortcomings, echinoplanes represent an outstanding achievement of Soviet science and engineering. Back in the mid-20th century, the idea of creating a vehicle that can move on both land and water seemed like a distant dream, but the Soviets were able to make it a reality. Their efforts resulted in the birth of a unique aircraft that was unlike anything seen before or since. Some believe that echinoplanes could have changed the course of history if the Soviet Union had not collapsed. Maybe this unusual vehicle would have found its place in modern warfare or civilian transportation. Maybe we would have seen echinoplanes carrying passengers or cargo around the world. Who knows? Echinoplanes are a reminder that the possibilities for human ingenuity are endless. Even though they never gained widespread use, they remain a fascinating example of what can be achieved when science and engineering meet creativity and determination. The history of echinoplanes is full of ups and downs. From the initial enthusiasm and rapid development to the setbacks and ultimate abandonment, this story reflects the realities of technological progress. Every invention faces challenges and obstacles, and echinoplanes are no exception. But it's precisely these challenges that make the story of echinoplanes so intriguing. It's the struggle, the effort, and the pursuit of excellence that make these machines truly remarkable. Echinoplane represents an extraordinary idea, the dream of creating something that defies the laws of physics and challenges the boundaries of what's possible. It's a testament to the boundless curiosity and thirst for discovery that drives humanity forward. Echinoplanes may no longer be a part of our daily lives. Their legacy lives on in the minds of those who appreciate the boldness and innovation that went into their creation. The story of echinoplanes reminds us that the path of progress is often long and arduous, but the rewards of discovery are immeasurable. It inspires us to push the boundaries of what's possible and to pursue our dreams with unwavering determination. Whether it's in the realm of technology, science, or art. The spirit of echinoplanes encourages us to embrace challenges, to dare to innovate, and to strive for excellence. We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when we publish new videos. Your support means a lot to us. Don't forget to share your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for watching. See you soon.